Hey, Joe, did you hear that the police finally caught the wrestling fan down in Florida that started the Palisades fire down in January?
No, I did not, Jeff. What happened there?
It's one of the largest fires in like Florida history. Started earlier this year. So the police have been looking for this guy since then, and they just caught him and arrested him a couple days ago.
Wow. Where'd they find him at?
I don't know. I didn't see that. I just saw the headline that they caught him. So
well,
I just thought it was crazy that they. Well, I don't know why they would announce in the headline that he was a wrestling fan. But,
Yeah, it seems like
it was there.
It's like stereotyping or something, right? Yeah, that's crazy.
In his interview, they asked him what happened. He said he heard voices in his head.
Yeah.
They talked to him.
They talked to him.
Yeah. You know what they said?
What did they say?
Burn it down.
Wow, that was a twofer.
Yeah.
We got two in that one. On this episode of WrestleStop, we're gonna go over. What were you done? Was there more? I'm sorry.
He got captured.
He got captured.
Yeah, he's good. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure. On this episode of WrestleStop, we're going to cover the early morning Raw we just had today. We're recording this the same day. First time we've done that in a while. And we're going to kind of tie it in with the early morning Crown Jewel that happened the other day. So it's a good Raw. Was it not Crown? It was Crown Jewel. It was
Crown
a good
Jewel and then Raw today. Yes.
Yeah, that was right.
You got it right this time. You kept saying Clash in Paris last time.
Yeah, last time was Clash in Paris.
You were confused that you actually got Crown Jewel correct.
Yeah, other than our notes, we don't use any scripts as a few.
Yeah. The mistake this time was drinking Crown at 8 a.m.
That
during Crown Jewel.
And we're going to get back to that. So roll the thing and we're going to get on with this. Okay, that was a great intro. Did you enjoy the intro?
I did enjoy the intro.
You did enjoy the intro. Yeah, so as you alluded to earlier, we were playing our little... We started playing this game at 8 in the morning with the Crown Jewel in Perth, and that was not a good idea. I've learned that I am a little too old to be drinking that early, that much.
Day drinking.
That was early morning. That was 8 a.m. drinking.
Yeah.
Had a good time though. It was a good show.
It was a good show. One of the better pay-per-views recently. Yeah. So it was definitely a good show. Followed up. Yeah, I thought SmackDown was good. Followed up by a good Crown Jewel, and then I thought today's Raw was really good too. So
yeah, why do they only do that when they're overseas?
I think they feed off the energy of the crowd.
So you're saying, are you saying American crowds are?
I'm saying American crowds are nowhere near as good as those Australian, European, and Puerto Rican crowds. So they bring so much more energy to it. They come up with witty chants. It's not just the same old chants over and over. And I thought it was funny that some of the wrestlers started interacting with them. Seth Rollins kind of went back and forth with them a little bit today on Raw, and it's just, I think it builds on that energy. I think the wrestlers feed off it and all that. So
yeah, it's cool. Okay, fair enough. So what do you got?
So on Raw, today, October 13th, started out, of course, with Seth Rollins coming down, celebrating his victory over Cody Rhodes. The crowd started chanting again, Seth is a wanker. Seth laughed it off, called the crowd a bunch of wankers.
And then they all cheered.
Yeah. So Bronson Reed and Brian Breaker came down. They started talking about Roman Reigns. They quickly went from the Roman Reigns chant to Bronson Reed, which I thought was funny. So.
It was good to hear. I like when people that don't get crowd cheers like that a lot, like Bronson Reed. I know they was in their, they were in their hometown, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day too. It seemed like the fans were booing him. So we were surprised, but I think they were booing him because they're supposed to booing him.
Mm-hmm.
You would ask, what kind of, is he going to get a warm welcome like Rhea Ripley did? And I think this was their way of giving him a welcome while treating him like the heel that he's portraying on character. So they kind of stayed in kayfabe themselves,
right?
So.
Which we're gonna have to come back to that, him being a heel. We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to that a bit when we get to the end. But I mean, as that, we saw Seth beat Cody at Crown Jewel on Saturday morning. I thought that was a good match. You predicted that. So you got that match as a victory.
I won a PLE. First one.
Finally won a PLE.
I had to change the rules to do it. But I did it, and then I won.
Yes.
So I'm just going to keep changing the rules, so I just keep winning.
Finding new ways to win. I think we both thought Seth would win that match.
Mm-hmm.
But you picked it. You drafted it. You picked it, so you got the win on that. But we both thought Seth would win over Cody. Just didn't make a whole lot of sense for Cody to continue to lose to Seth. For Seth to continue to lose to Cody right now. So we'll see if they continue to build off that or what they do with that win. So he won there. Bronson Reed took out Roman Reigns. Again, I picked that one, but I thought we were both confident that Bronson Reed would beat Roman Reigns. Again, Roman Reigns beat him at SummerSlam. So it didn't really make sense for them to bury Bronson Reed by having Roman beat him again. So they seem to really be pushing Bronson Reed right now. You know, him beating, they're pretty much number one talent right now in the Tribal Chief. I'm drawing a blank on Roman Reigns. Yep. So yeah, that was a good win. We both got that one. We both had it on our personal picks, right? So but it was good to see Bronson Reed get that push. And I think there were a lot of people online that were surprised by that, but I thought that was a good decision.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked it. I think it was good.
So, all right. After the opening promo, we get our.
Oh, you didn't mention Seth kissing. Paul Heyman on the forehead.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah, the crowd is chanting for it. Yeah, that was a good one too. So I knew we had 2 episodes to cover. I didn't take quite as many notes, so if I forget something, please catch it on me. But
no, you're good. We also don't want this video to be 87 minutes long. So.
Yeah, the Rusev Dom recap. Again, recaps on Raw. Recap. They recap the recaps. But they jump backstage to Penta and Rusev.
Or isn't technically what we're doing right now a recap?
But we're recapping the show. But like it would be different if like on the beginning of our next show we recapped our previous show.
Maybe we need to do that.
Maybe that's the gimmick. Yep. Maybe WWE.
We're gonna start recapping our recap shows
just to get content out there.
Yep.
Just don't like. I guess if you guys start liking and commenting and giving us feedback on our recap of our recaps, and maybe we'll do recap of our recaps at that point.
Yeah, we'll just keep doing recap videos.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe that's the way to go. So backstage, we've got Penta and Rusev.
Vince Russo?
Rusev is upset that Penta gets the championship match tonight. But Rusev said he talked to Adam Pearce and he gets the winner. And then you saw Dom creeping around in the background looking scared of Rusev. So tonight we ended up next match that jumped right out to Penta versus Dom for the Intercontinental title. Near the end of the match, Rusev ends up coming down. Penta saw him coming, flipped into him. While all that was going on, Dom took the advantage he went over to the timetable, act like he was going to he grabbed one of the titles and threw it on the ground. While the timekeeper picked that up, he grabbed the bell.
He grabbed the hammer.
The hammer, that's what I meant. The hammer and the belt went in the ring. The ref saw the belt, took the belt from him. While he was dealing with the belt, Dom whacked Penta in the knee with the hammer and stuffed the hammer in his boot and gave him the 619. Picked up the victory with the cheating method. And the cheers again. The fans cheered that. So I thought,
they were mad when Penta was doing the Three Amigos thing.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And then when it got flipped, when Dom finished it, the crowd cheered. Yes. So very weird.
Dom is clearly over. I don't know if WWE knows what to do with that. They seem to really be pushing him to cheat and using these heel tactics.
It's like Eddie Guerrero stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the fans, he's clearly over the fans. The fans loved it. So yeah, now we got Dominic versus Rusev for the IC title, I think next Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. My problem with that is this, right? Do you honestly think that they're going to let Rusev win the IC title from Dom?
I don't know.
I don't either.
No.
So this is just like filler time until they can think of something else to do with Dom. Because if they let Rusev beat Dom, people are going to riot.
The only way they do it is if somehow like AJ Styles interferes and helps, or maybe El Grande Americano comes back, or Judgment Day turns on Dom, or Liv Morgan comes back. Somehow he won't lose it clean. Not right now with the heat, the push he's getting and everything going on right now. But I could see them. I don't see it necessarily being with Rusev, but I don't know. We'll see. If he does lose it, it won't be clean.
That's kind of like when we go back a couple weeks ago when I was having the issue with Becky Lynch against
Maxine Dupree.
Yes. There was no way they were going to have that. And it just kind of, it's almost like a waste of time almost. Or maybe it's just WWE trying to decide maybe she's over, maybe she's not, and they don't know. So
judge the crowd reaction.
Maybe it's something like that. I'm not sure. But Rusev is definitely not over.
Yeah.
And I honestly see no chance of him winning that title.
So yeah, we cut backstage again. This was a more live promo. LA Knight backstage, talking about he's got a triple threat match for the championship tonight, for the number one contender shot at Seth Rollins' championship tonight. LA Knight versus CM Punk versus Jey Uso.
Yeah.
And in his promo, he calls himself the Isness.
He's the Isness because it's his business to do something. He rhymed a couple words together.
Yeah, he lost me there, but oh well.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Again, cut again backstage. I think there was a commercial
break. You don't have
break.
a problem with Rusev fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. You have a problem with LA Knight saying isness.
I just like to make fun of LA Knight. It is what it is. It is the isness.
It is the isness. Yes.
So, but cut backstage again. We got the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka's upset, blaming Kairi for their loss at Crown Jewel. Kairi apologizes. So Asuka to have her redeem herself, a set of match for Kairi versus Rhea tonight. Kairi was talking. She still wants to try and make up with Io. Asuka slapped her, and then the fans booed that really bad. So the fans were really behind Kairi. So
looked like she hit her kind of hard.
Yeah, it looked pretty rough. But yeah, so that brings us to the Rhea Ripley, Io Sky versus Kabuki Warriors match over the weekend. I thought that was probably the worst match of the day. I don't really remember a whole lot about it
because there weren't like any stakes.
Yeah,
all the other matches had like heavy stakes to them, and this match didn't really. It was all, is Io Sky going to be friends or something like that, right? So just, I don't know, it's kind of.
I know you were hoping for Io Sky to turn against Ripley.
I still think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it may still happen.
I have not given up on that idea.
I don't have a lot of memory on that match. It just wasn't a great match. Like I said, it wasn't bad, but it just I think the other four matches
because the other matches
were so much better. So. Alrighty, surprise, surprise. We cut backstage again. This time we're backstage with the Usos. Jay and Jimmy talking. They announced that Jimmy's fighting Bronson Reed tonight. Jimmy's upset with Roman. They came out and helped Roman during his match with Bronson Reed, or at least attempted to help him. Jay ended up spearing Roman through the table, allowing Bronson Reed to give him the Death Valley Driver or whatever he calls it, and then the tsunami for the win. And then Jay and Jimmy just go back and forth at each other that they're both on their own tonight. That they're just so that Roman Reigns is kind of not intentionally, but by pushing Jay to be more individual, he's kind of pushing a divide between the two Usos. So, thoughts?
That one. Well, see, the original thought I had was that was going to be Team A at Survivor Series, right? The Bloodline.
Yeah.
And then based on that, and then based on things that happen later that we'll talk about, I don't know where they're going with Survivor Series.
I don't. Yeah, I thought it was pretty determined. It seemed pretty obvious what they were going to do. So
because I have a different idea.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that at the end. How's that?
All right.
Unless you want to bring it up now.
No, we'll talk about it at the end.
There. Okay. So then we go out, Big Jim versus Bronson Reed.
Oh, did we say Ripley defeated Kairi Sane?
Oh, did we not miss that part? Okay, yeah. Rhea Ripley ended up defeating Kairi Sane.
Yeah, move along.
Oh, I jumped past that, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, and then after the match, Asuka attacked Io after the match. And then Asuka and Kairi ended up attacking Rhea Ripley. Yeah, sorry, actually. I talked about the promo. I skipped the match. So, Big Bronson Reed versus Big Jim. Bronson Reed ended up spending most of the match just pulverizing Jim's ribs, and Jim kept trying to pick him up, and he couldn't do it. Eventually, at the end, he collapsed. Bronson Reed took him over the corner, did the tsunami, end of the match. So Braun Breaker came out to celebrate with him, and they met in the aisle. Then they started walking out. Braun Breaker turned around, saw Jim in the ring, and just bolted back, gave him a spear. Bronson Reed turned back around. And so at that point, Jey Uso's music started playing. Jay came out, and Jay and Jimmy, kind of threw him out of the ring. And so they are back together.
Then it looked like they were arguing again.
Yeah. Well,
because then Jay got mad and jumped out of the ring and left.
Yeah, Jay's like, "Why'd you put yourself in this position? Here I got to wrestle later. Now I took some hits tonight. So
yeah, really weird."
Alrighty, backstage again, we've got Bayley and Lyra Valkyria talking about their match tonight against the Judgment Day. They go down. They're wrestling the Judgment Day. Bayley's being super happy-go-lucky,
so annoying.
Not really wrestling really good. Lyra, is tired of it. She goes up to Bayley, slaps her really hard across the face, brings out angry Bayley.
So Bayley's gimmick is the Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, don't make her angry.
Don't make her angry
like me when I'm angry.
She becomes the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's the gimmick they came up with.
So yeah, she ended up going outside the ring, stomping both the Judgment Days, taking it back in. I think she ended up pinning Roxanne Perez. That really matters. But yeah, they got the win.
Yeah, Bayley just ended up taking out everybody.
Yeah,
once she got angry.
Yeah. So and then the refs announced that Lyra unlocked the key to Bayley. It's just to make her angry. So yeah. So we'll see how they build on that or where they go.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when Michael Cole was talking about, because Bayley used to always, when Bayley was a full heel, she would always pick on Michael Cole on the thing.
Yes.
But now he's saying that she's sending him nice messages, and then the next day it's a mean message. Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny.
That was pretty funny.
I would rather them play into that kind of thing, where she's just crazy like that, rather than this whole make me angry and I'm gonna start beating everybody up thing. But
we'll see. Maybe next time she'll get mad at Lyra Valkyria for slapping her, making her angry. Who knows? Cut backstage again to Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Seth is going on talking about their future is special.
He's on cloud
nine. Seth congratulates the Vision for taking out the Usos, and he's just, at this point, I started picking up on a vibe that they were foreshadowing something was going to happen. It just seemed very odd.
Well, through the whole show, even like Braun Breaker's face was very just kind of like either he was mad or he just didn't care what was going on. Yeah. So I don't know.
You know what? Going back, I'll bring it up in a few minutes. So, backstage again, AJ Styles and Adam Pearce. Dom interrupts. I can't remember what they talked about. I don't really.
He basically ended up getting a tag team match for AJ Styles and
Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day for the tag team championship.
Yeah, set that up for next week, and Dom has to go tell him.
Yeah,
that was really it.
So. Stephanie Vaquer interview. She announces that she's the first WWE superstar in the history of ever to win 4 titles in the same calendar year.
The history of ever.
So I think what did she have? She had 2 NXT titles. She had the Women's Heavyweight Championship, and I guess now the Crown Jewel Championship is considered a title. So Judgment Day came out interrupted. Roxanne Perez complaining she wants a title shot. I think she said she was the last person to beat Stephanie Vaquer, or
she was the last person to beat
a qualification match. Io Sky.
Was it Io Sky?
Yeah. Okay. So
that's Stephanie Vaquer's next thing. She just went from a champion versus champion match to Roxanne
Perez. Yeah. We'll see where they go there. So. Jump to the final match of the night. We had Jey Uso versus CM Punk versus LA Knight. Match was back and forth and around. Most importantly, we saw CM Punk win. Seth interrupts. Vision comes down, attacks everyone. They're celebrating. What I thought was really cool about the ending. Did you have something you want to say before we get there?
I didn't want you to get to what happens at the ending just yet.
Okay. But the timing of what happened at the end was the first time I ever saw anything. Normally, I tell my kids they always want to watch to the very end. But once they show Paul Levesque and they start rolling the credits, Raw is done. Nothing has ever happened after that I could see since they started using those end credits. So I almost turned it off, not knowing anything was going to happen. But
so you're probably confused as to what I was talking about then.
Yeah, I was right, because Joe said, really, Joe thought this was something big. Joe watched it first thing in the morning. I had some things I had to take care of, so I didn't watch it till this afternoon. But he did text me and asked if I was watching yet. He said, you need to watch so we can record tonight. So I was like, really? CM Punk being the number 1 contender? That's the big surprise? That's actually kind of obvious, but
But no, that wasn't the big surprise. Now was it?
No, before we advance, but go ahead.
No.
You said you had to talk something you want to talk about before we went to the big event.
Well, no, I just think rather than just kind of bleeding into that, it was such a... That's the first time in a long time that, even though I will say everybody, us included, and probably a million other people who knew this was coming, I think what was so surprising is that it came so early.
So early, and it's right after a big night for them. Normally, the group starts infighting before you see a turn. So what happened? Braun Breaker turned on Seth Rollins and speared him out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And what I thought was really good is Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed weren't in on it. Paul Heyman's actual words were, "What the did you just do?" He mouthed that a couple different times. You could see it on camera. And what I was going to mention just a few minutes ago that popped into my head was, if you remember back on the opening promo, Braun Breaker looked irritated when Seth Rollins tried to get him to do his head thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was.
I think if we went back to watch it now, we could probably catch a lot of little things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was it was kind of out of nowhere, right? Because a lot of the rumors that like I've been hearing and stuff is, Austin Theory was joining the Vision.
Yeah, that was big over the weekend. Yeah,
and which was very, and I like that idea.
Yeah.
But
will he join the Vision? Just Seth Rollins won't be.
Well, here's the thing now, right? Now, who's the good guy here and who's the bad guy? Are they trying to make Seth Rollins a face now, they're going to be the heel?
Yeah.
Or is Seth Rollins going to be the heel and now they've just turned face?
Yeah, I could see Braun Breaker going face. I don't know about Bronson Reed, but they joined together. Paul Heyman was with them, but he looked scared. He didn't look like he wanted to do. Maybe so. A couple things popped into mind when I was watching this. First, we talked on Saturday. It looked like Seth Rollins injured his elbow doing the flying headbutt against Cody Rhodes during their match. He favored it the rest of the match. There were online reports that people had pictures of him wearing an arm brace over the weekend. But again, 4 months ago, whenever he beat CM Punk, when he cashed in, he had faked an injury at that point. So are they faking? Is this karma for faking injury?
And knowing WWE, they will do the same thing over and over again.
So but then again, when after he got speared, when Bronson Reed grabbed him and dragged him, Seth Rollins put his good arm up and made sure he protected the bad arm.
Yeah.
So whether or not they're playing the storyline or he's really injured, I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe this was a way they changed. This was going to happen a couple months down the line, or it was going to happen at War Games, and they just escalated the timeline because he was injured. It's a way to write him off. Yeah, I don't know. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of confusion now, though, right? So my thought for War Games was going to be Bloodline, like Roman Reigns, Usos, maybe Solo fits in there somewhere, and Jacob Fatu against the Vision, which would have been those three, and then you add like Austin Theory and somebody else, I guess, right? But now I'm wondering, are they going to set up like, instead of Bloodline versus Vision, old Vision versus new Vision? Maybe Seth Rollins is going to bring in people like Austin Theory or whoever to join his little group. Maybe
that was all fake and they set up on SmackDown. We've got the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six. That could be a Survivor Series match. I don't know that that's got the draw. It doesn't have the big name. It doesn't have the big names in it.
Or maybe Seth Rollins is going to try to recruit the Bloodline to help him fight the new Vision or something like that. I don't know. I mean, in Survivor Series is kind of a long ways away yet, isn't it? It's
about a month and a half. Yeah. We've got on Halloween. There's a SmackDown on Halloween, and then November 1st there's a Saturday night's main event, and then I don't know the exact date, but late November. Right.
November 29th.
It's the last Saturday in November. It's Survivor Series. So we got a good month and a half. One PLE, if you want to call main event a PLE. They've been treating it that way. So
I don't know where they're going.
Yeah. The other thing is Seth has kind of tried to make himself a heel. Like I don't know if it's in his nature to be a full-on heel.
He's a better heel than he is a good guy. I've always thought.
But like the fans cheer for him. The fans are still singing his song. And even tonight, like he had to go out, like he started out calling them wankers and joking around with them. And at one point it almost clicked that he's supposed to be a heel, and he ended up calling everybody in Perth dumb. Like that old like heel gimmick of just bad mouthing the locals, calling everybody dumb, and
surprised they didn't try to tie that into why Bronson Reed switched.
Yeah, they might. Well, Bronson Reed, if Braun Breaker told him it's him or me. It's you need to choose now, and he said that to both Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman. So Bronson Reed didn't look like he was a part of this, and then Paul Heyman didn't look like he was a part of this. So we'll see if it's a big, I did see one rumor online I was reading before I came over to record was that. Is this a big ploy? Is Seth truly the visionary and the architect, and he's using this to fool CM Punk? So, he'll look like he's alone fighting CM Punk, and somebody comes out and helps him. Maybe that's the new vision.
Maybe CM Punk will feel bad for him, and now they'll be friends.
I hope not, but
we'll see. It's a feel-good, happy ending.
Yeah, this was, I think, like you texted me, one of the biggest shocks in wrestling, probably since going back to the early the year
it's been a while.
When Cena turned. I can't remember anything else really shocking me this much. So,
which is a good thing.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to lie, some of these SmackDown specifically have been getting really hard to watch.
Yeah.
And at least, I mean, watch them, yes, but watch and be entertained and not want to see what else is on TV.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of bad TV, so that's got to tell you something. So I'll give both shows probably. Well, I'll give the PLE. I'm going to give a B.
Yeah, I give it definitely a thumbs up.
And I'm going to give
one back before we rate it. We talked about everything, 4 of the 5 matches because they tied into Raw. We did not talk about the John Cena AJ Styles match.
Oh, great match.
Yes.
I loved it.
There's a lot of people online complaining about it, that it was just a spot match where they were just doing it. But it's like, for these two guys getting ready to retire, I think it was perfect for them to just...
And it was like the stroll down memory lane type thing.
Paying homage to all the people they've wrestled over the years. Speaking of your boy Rusev was, I guess, one of the moves they did was a Rusev move I saw listed online. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know nothing about that.
But yeah, no.
Obviously, the Bray Wyatt one stood out the most, especially then when the crowd started doing the Firefly thing. And
some really cool images. You sent me one of the images earlier. But
I'll put it up here. I got it from Sportskeeda, I think is where it came from. Something like that. I'll put it up here somewhere. But I'm sure everyone's probably seen it by now. But yeah, me and Bray Wyatt, he was my fave back in the day.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it that there wasn't a lot of build up to this match, so they used the match to tell the story, and the story was like, look, John Cena's retiring this year. AJ Styles is heavily rumored to be done at the end of next year.
He said it was.
Yeah,
it's not even a rumor anymore.
So they're coming out and they told a story in the match. They did the story. So I thought it was great. Yeah, it was great. I'm not a big AJ Styles fan, but I did enjoy that match. So
liked it a lot.
Back to your grades.
B for the PLE, strong B, almost a B plus, and I'm going to give Raw a B plus.
Yeah. I give them both a solid thumbs up. I enjoyed both of them. Like you said, last week's SmackDown was good. We didn't end up recapping that because the PLE was
last week's SmackDown's main event should have been on the PLE.
Yeah,
that was the Priest and Black street fight or whatever.
Yes.
But maybe they didn't want to do 2 street fights on the PLE.
Yeah,
but that should have been on the PLE because that match was way better than anything else on SmackDown. It should have been on the PLE.
Yeah, so hopefully we're turning the corner and we start picking things up. We got a couple months to the road to WrestleMania. But Survivor Series has always been one of my my favorite events as a kid. I used to love the elimination tag matches. I know they did that earlier last week with NXT versus TNA. I'm going to go back and watch that when I can find some time. I like those elimination tags. Hopefully one day they bring those back to Survivor Series.
Yeah, those were good. You had like that was the good backstage stuff where they were walking around trying to get people to join their team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That stuff was fun, and now they just do this big War Games thing, which isn't awful, but it's not the same.
I got some issues with that, but we'll save that toward our preview. So
okay. Other than that, anything else you got?
No, not much.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a short little video announcement thing that we're doing. Nothing super crazy, but it's just a way that we'd like to try to reward some of the people who subscribe to our channel. We're almost at 1 million subscribers.
Almost. Yeah.
Almost. We're like 999,960.
44 to go.
44 to go. We're almost to 1 million.
There we go.
So thank you for everybody so far who has subscribed. Make sure you guys are also leaving comments down below. It can be anything. Just don't, we were talking earlier, just don't be hitting a bunch of times or anything like that. But you can leave, Jeff's favorite thing. If you leave the eggplant down there, Jeff really likes that.
I like it when you make fun of Joe.
Make fun of me. Jeff also likes when you put a pineapple down there. I don't know what any of this means, but Jeff seems to be really big on it. So if you put those down there, maybe you might get a comment back from Jeff. Who knows?
I haven't found a way to turn that pineapple emoji upside down yet.
Well, it's all up here. You know. Other than that, thanks everybody. Like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. Tell everybody you know, and thank you. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.